on this all-you-can-eat episode of Mythbusters.
Come out to the coast, we'll have some fun.
The culinary chemist himself joins Adam and Jamie.
This is an entire buffet of potential doom for me.
To turn up the heat on some food folklore.
Ow! I'm kidding. I totally didn't cut myself.
First, it's takeout taken to the limit.
Let's do it. Mythbusters road trip.
As they try to spark up a massive family feast on the engine of a family car.
Starting to smell anything? And definitely sweet potato.
Then the guys crank up the pressure.
Reminds me of water heaters about to explode.
As they test if you really can make instant popcorn.
Cooking in a bomb suit, only on this show.
Meanwhile, Carrie, Tori, and Grant see if the turkey's to blame for that Thanksgiving stupor.
Wow. This is like man versus food.
Then they put the knife to the culinary cliche that says many white meats,
What's that with the head right there?
no matter how suspect the species, really do taste like chicken.
Whoa. That was definitely not chicken.
Who are the Mythbusters? Adam Savage.
It's scientific!
And Jamie Hyneman.
Quack, damn you.
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience. Together with Carrie Byron,
Golden Dragon!
Tori Belleci,
Why are we doing this?
and Grant Imahara.
Somebody order an explosion?
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. First up, a myth that puts the hot back into hot rod.
We never eat together. What's all this?
We are not going to eat together, we are going to cook together.
How so?
Well, we've gathered a bunch of stories over the years that involve cooking edible food in things never intended for cooking. Things like pressure vessels, cars, and even dishwashers. I think we should tackle these stories, and I think we should bring a little bit of science to it.
Well, if we're going to do it, we better get it right.
I agree.
In fact, I think we might be able to use a little help. And come to think of it, I might have just the thing downstairs.
Awesome. So you've got the cooking help we need on the wall?
Somewhere here. Oh, there it is. AB.
Hey guys, what's cooking?
Alton Brown's not just an author and a famous TV chef. He's also obsessed with the science of food. And that qualifies him as the perfect partner for our first food fable.
Adam, I assume that you did not bring me here simply to cater lunch.
No, we actually have a pretty interesting, weird cooking challenge.
Do tell.
Americans love driving. The time of year they drive the most is often around the holidays.
Yep.
And we know that people have claimed you can cook things in your engine compartment. So bringing those two things together, we are wondering, could you set up a meal in your car so that when you drove to a holiday dinner, you arrived with the dinner fully cooked? I'm thinking Thanksgiving.
It's gonna depend a lot on the vehicle. We're gonna need, we need big. We need like V8 to 12. An older vehicle, because new is too plasticky and not enough space.
On that front, I think we've got it locked. Check this out.
Acquiring the auto is left to Jamie, and this is exactly what the chef ordered. But the moment they pop the hood, Alton sees problems as well as potential. Welcome to Mythbusters.
There's not quite as much space as I expected.
We've got some space over here.
Yeah, over the exhaust manifold?
Yeah.
Is it covered with a shield?
It is. We're gonna have to pull that.
With usable oven space surprisingly scarce, Alton looks for some alternate hotspots.
Right. Yeah, there's some space under here. Maybe we could also get to the catalytic converter. It's probably gonna be the hottest thing. Oh man, it needs to degreaser, that's for sure.
Cooking a Thanksgiving dinner on this engine block presents a few problems right off the bat. One, even though we got a beautiful big old American boat of a car, there's not as much room as we were hoping around this engine. Secondly, because space is at a premium, we're gonna need to find where it's hottest. Perfect.
So before they start cooking with gasoline, they'll need a dry run to see which bits of the engine are fan-forced. And here's how they'll do it.
This thing right here is a thermocouple, or a temperature sensor, and we're going to put a bunch of these all over inside the engine compartment to see where our best sources of heat are.
The plug-ins of all those thermocouples will meet here at this computer interface where, from inside the car, we'll be able to monitor all of those temperatures simultaneously.
Isn't that cool?
The results should be especially enlightening for Alton to help plan the meal. Just now, he's wishing he never left the kitchen.
Come out to the coast, we'll have some fun.
But good times are just around the corner.
With our temperature monitoring equipment installed, it's time to take this boat out onto the road and find out just what kind of cooking vessel our driving vessel might actually be. Let's do it.
If this behemoth is a boat, then these two black and whites must be the Coast Guard. We actually need these guys if we're filming on the highway, but still.
It's hard to believe with these cops that we haven't actually done anything wrong.
Yeah, there's a good escort and there's a bad escort.
This is no mere spin around the block. To collect the kind of data they need means taking a nice long drive out of town and into the countryside.
We're trying to determine what's happening inside that engine while we drive, where it's hot, where it's not, and how the way we drive affects both of those things. Because we need to figure out where we're going to place each type of food in the engine, because those places need to be ideal to cook the types of food that we're cooking.
90 minutes out, it's time to turn this coupe cooktop around. But not before a hands-on inspection of the hot plates.
It's feeling really good and hot right in here. What's our contact on the air cleaner?
I'm getting 125 direct contact, and the infrared's reading 136.8. I think if we can just work out our spatial relationships and make sure we get containers that fit the volume, we're gonna be in good shape.
So far, with about an hour of city driving and a half hour of open road driving, the results we're getting are incredibly, incredibly promising. It looks like we're not only gonna have a full Thanksgiving dinner, we might even get dessert. All right, let's head back to the shop.
Okay.
Next up, it's time to talk turkey.
Okay, so. Surreal Gourmet, what have we got?
All right, this one is really popular on the message boards. In fact, it's been around forever. It's that turkey makes you tired.
Because of the tryptophan, right?
Exactly. Turkey contains tryptophan. Tryptophan can make you tired. In fact, it's sold as a sleep aid. So next time you feel sleepy after a Thanksgiving meal, you can blame the bird.
That's the myth.
What would you answer that, dear?
Happy Thanksgiving.
But is turkey meat the real culprit in this traditional passing out parade?
Oh, what a beautiful bird.
Or will this myth's goose get cooked?
Since this myth is all about tiredness, I think reaction time is how we should test it.
Right.
Why don't we come up with a control test that tests our reaction time, and then we'll have multiple tests where we try different amounts of turkey and even try tryptophan.
And since I don't eat turkey, that makes you two the guinea pigs.
Sounds great to me. Let the feasting begin.
But before Grant ties on his best bib, the boys need to give Carrie some baseline response times.
Now, you know when you're tired, your reaction time is slow. Cue arcade lighting. This is Whack a Mythbuster. They're gonna bounce for 45 seconds. They get a point for every time they hit one of their coworkers.
First up is a fit and wide-awake Tory.
3, 2, 1.
It seems he's in pretty good form.
Take that, Carrie.
Great vision,
Kind of weird to whack myself.
fast reactions, and just the right balance of homicidal intent.
All right, so in 45 seconds, I was able to rack up 61 points. That is my control.
All Grant needs to do is set his own reaction time baseline. But it's hard to resist going one up on Tory.
66. Not bad.
Next, before munching the meal of the myth, they need to confirm that tryptophan does actually make you tired.
What is tryptophan? Well, it's an amino acid that's in turkey, and that's the thing that people say causes you to become sleepy. We're gonna be taking it in its pure capsule form, in an amount that's been approved by both our nutritionist and our safety officer.
The dose is much more than in any turkey dinner. And after 45 minutes, it's clear the guys aren't at their perky peaks.
Feeling tryptophantastic?
I feel tripped out. All right, we're ready to do this test on tryptophan. Here we go, Whack a Mythbuster.
Of course, this all comes down to the numbers. But you'd have to say tired out Tory looks about as sharp as a bowling ball. After 45 undeniably sluggish seconds,
49, from a 61 to a 49.
now to see if a groggy Grant fares any better.
One thing I know about Grant is he gets really cranky when he's tired. My God, you're getting really angry.
I think the tryptophan's working. All right. Well, it's definitely affected your anger, but it looks like it's affecting your score. You got a 60. Last time you got a 66.
Yeah, I feel like they were coming so fast.
The results are conclusive. Tryptophan does dim the light in your lamp. But a little white pill is not your typical holiday feast. So Tori and Grant will soon sacrifice their stomachs for science.
Now, we've found out that tryptophan definitely makes you tired. So the question is, will a traditional turkey meal make you tired? Now, for that, I've prepared a delicious home-cooked meal at Shea Byron. And behind me is Dr. Applegate. She's a nutrition professor at UC Davis, and she's going to help me with the planning of my Thanksgiving meal.
Well, what I designed was a series of 3 meals. Let's give them a big, hefty Thanksgiving meal, complete with turkey, stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes, the whole bit. And that way we can see how a big meal with a lot of tryptophan in it settles with them with reaction time. And then give them a second meal that is all the same number of calories, but instead pull the turkey out and give them another protein source that has no tryptophan in it.
What Dr. Liz has designed is a surefire way to see if it's the tryptophan in turkey or the sheer volume of food that turns us all into mashed couch potatoes. Day 1 is a typically over-the-top Thanksgiving dinner with real turkey and all the trimmings. Day 2 is a meal with the same insane calorie count, but a turkey substitute with no tryptophan. For good measure, Day 3's menu is the same as Day 1, but scaled back to the size of an everyday dinner. Carrie will compare their reaction times after each meal, and that should settle this myth. The first offering is that once-a-year feast that has us all frothing with fervor.
We have all the basics here, the sweet potato casserole, apple pie, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, green beans. Now I'm going to plate up the food based on their height and weight. Their caloric intake will be, Tori, 2,420 calories, and Grant, 2,200 calories. I'm feeling tired already just thinking about this.
Oh my God, that looks amazing. This is like man versus food.
Do you guys just need to feel the mood? Do you want some awkward Thanksgiving conversation?
Yes, please.
So, Tori, when are you gonna marry that girl and give me some grandkids?
Don't ruin my dining experience, please.
Grant, you've been a bachelor for a long time. Are you ever gonna settle down?
Like I need this from you.
Let's fast forward from awkward to downright unpleasant. No offense to Carrie's cooking, but just when they figure this ordeal is almost over, they discover it's not.
You don't want to forget dessert.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Where's the ice cream? Who made this calorie count?
Scientists!
Oh my God. I'm having trouble hearing. I'm having trouble breathing. This is interesting. All right, bring on the pie.
When the pie's polished off,
Brilliant.
our 2 hearty heroes can finally loosen their pants.
Done.
Yay! You guys did it!
I hate you.
Now it's time for Sweatpants, the Couch, and Mythbusters Marathon. It is Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
Nope, it's time for testing. Come on!
The boys can at least be thankful that the tests are short and sweet.
Nothing like a little exercise after a heavy meal.
Then they can take a nap.
The numbers are in, and it looks as though the classic turkey dinner actually had an equivalent effect to the tryptophan. The boys were tired, the reaction times were slow, but the question is, was it the turkey in that big dinner that actually did this to them? So, the next step is to give them an equivalent amount of food and caloric intake, but take out the turkey and give them a low tryptophan protein source. It'll be interesting to see if it actually slows them down.
Adam, Jamie, and culinary mastermind Alton Brown are about to prove it's not the destination, but the journey that counts. They've just done a test run to see if a car engine could potentially cook a family-size holiday feast. The trip supplied a massive data, and a graph that's a joy to behold.
The catalytic converter is the orange, exhaust manifold cover is the blue. Those were both in the 400 and 500 degree range. Then we've got the transmission oil pan and the regular oil pan. That's the brown and the green. Both of those hovered right around 200 degrees. But here's something interesting. This here, the wavy part, front and back, that's city driving to and from the shop. When we were stopped, we often got these temperature spikes up to 200 degrees.
Well, it makes sense because there's less air moving through the engine compartment when you're still.
I guess you're right.
The readouts confirm their conjecture that some engine components get way hotter than others.
And this is actually a good thing because not all food wants to be treated the same way. We might want to have something that's fairly easy to cook, like some vegetables down in these lower zones, and we might want to have something that really needs to roast, like the turkey, up high.
Now we're done with the theory. It's high time for some hustle. Jamie and Adam need to either modify
Just a little more, and I'll have a nice tight food container.
or hand build some food flasks. Meanwhile, Alton's got 2 whole birds to brine. And before he starts prepping the rest of the food, there's that little conundrum of what to put where.
There and there, so that's a turkey leg and a turkey leg. We're gonna confit and those big ones. That's Jamie's idea. Let's see how that goes.
It's already enough of a head scratcher without this added challenge. Baking a batch of mini pumpkin pies he's never even tested in a real oven.
Remember, kids, when you grow up, you can lick the bowl all you want.
While Adam helps in the kitchen, Jamie soups up the V8 cooktop.
Basically what I'm doing here is using the car's exhaust manifold as a heating element, and I'm insulating all the way around it, just like an oven, leaving only that exposed. Our canisters of food will sit right on top of that, and then the whole thing will get covered with more insulation.
There's no getting away from it. This is one peculiar picnic. The preparation's been all they could hope for. But now that it's almost showtime, the chef has the jitters.
All right, this is an entire buffet of potential doom for me, but here we go. We've broken the turkey into 3 pieces. We've got the breast lobes and the rib cage here, exhaust manifold. Legs, confit style in olive oil and thyme in this canister next to the exhaust manifold up top. We've got the thighs sitting upon beds of herbs. This is going in your special catalytic converter box on top of the catalytic converter. Dressing underneath the transmission, more sweet potatoes and maple that are gonna go in this sweet device underneath the catalytic converter. Here we have our pies. Nice job on this. This is going to go over the air cleaner, which we will tint to make sure that we don't get anything into it. I've got some sweet potatoes. I'm just going to kind of shove in nooks and crannies. I'm going to do the same thing with the lemon. That's going to go with the asparagus. Hopefully this gravy is going to be delicious on top of the turkey. And we've also got Brussels sprouts and blue cheese and creamed corn with rosemary. I'm also hiding 1 turkey leg someplace just for me in case everything else goes to hell in a basket.
And we'd have to admit it wouldn't be the first time.
We've done a lot of things on this show that, well, they're not exactly practical.
If you'd like to slide under here from the front bumper of the car.
And this is one of those things. You're better off with an oven, but the attempt is interesting. I mean, we've mapped out the temperatures of this entire car to find where we can cook these things. So if it's possible, we're gonna do it.
That's it, guys. We're good under here.
With the turkey, sides, and desserts securely stowed, it's time this movable feast hit the highway.
All right, we got a car full of food and 4 hours to cook Thanksgiving dinner. Let's go.
Hit it.
Mythbusters road trip.
After gobbling their way through a gigantic holiday feast, Tori and Grant's reaction times hit a new low. But was it down to the turkey? We're about to find out. Today's meal is just as massive, but the turkey's been traded for a protein powder that carries mixed in with the mashed potatoes.
Dinner.
What do you have for us?
Lots and lots of delicious dinner. Saul's turkey.
Oh my God, so this is the same amount of calorie count, but there's no turkey.
Dig in. Oh, wait, there's more. You don't want to forget the gravy.
That looks like snot.
After looking at this meal, particularly the consistency of what I'm trying to eat here, I think that this is going to block up my entire system. And I predict that I will be very, very tired.
It's been said we eat first with our eyes. If that's true, it's a miracle this stuff ever gets to the mouth.
I have noticed that the boys seem a little more tired, sleepy, lethargic since they started this experiment. About the equivalent amount of sleepiness that I saw with the turkey dinner. Just a little more disgust.
This is gonna ruin Thanksgiving forever.
It's clear that the guys aren't exactly grazing with gusto, but after 90 minutes of munching, they're done.
Now it's time to find out if it's the turkey that actually made them tired in that big Thanksgiving meal that they had before. Do we even need to do the test?
Now, certified turkey tryptophan-free, Tori
48, not bad.
It's not good.
and Grant do their level best to recapture the form
42.
of their first control test.
Looked like that affected your ability to hit the little heads.
But they fail. Meal 2's data is remarkably similar to Meal 1's, which means that turkey's not looking like the coma culprit. But to settle this once and for all,
Thanksgiving again?
Again.
it's on to the more modest Thanksgiving meal that does include turkey. If there's anything to this myth, we should see some adverse reactions, even from a sensible serving. It's now lunchtime on day 3.
So we've actually gotten the food to a smaller proportions, kept the turkey the same size, and we're gonna see if it is in fact the turkey that's making us drowsy. But right now, I don't feel very drowsy.
Meantime, Grant looks like he hasn't eaten since August.
This is good. I think it'll be a good test.
I'm done. Good crust, by the way.
All right, let's go do the test.
You guys don't seem too tired.
All right.
It's make or break time for the turkey makes you tired myth. If the reaction time is slow on this test, it's myth confirmed. If the reaction time is more like the control, it's myth busted.
Grant's first up to bat.
Oh my God, the focus. I don't think the turkey's making you tired. Wow, 67, that's even better than your control.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, can Tori back up that astounding achievement?
63.
I beat my control test. This one's looking busted.
Yep, it's rare to get proof this positive, but it's clear that the turkey's a foul call. For this culinary coma, you can't blame the bird.
So I guess turkey did not make you tired. Turkey did not make you tired. This is busted.
It's totally busted. It's not the turkey that makes you tired. It's the amount of food that you eat.
It's the gluttony.
The calories are what get you.
So, what can I do for you fellas?
Well, we have a particular Mythbusters challenge we thought you might be interested in.
We have been told that it is possible to cook a lasagna using nothing but a dishwasher.
We got to get some data. I mean, we've got to know a lot more about the oven, as it were, before we can build.
Let's check out the dishwasher.
Let's go.
To have any chance of confirming this cooking cliffhanger, they'll need to know exactly what temperatures they can expect to reach and for how long.
That's what we want to find out here. So I'm going to drill a hole in the side of the casing where we can insert a temperature probe or thermocouple while the dishwasher's going through its cycles. We also want to see what's going on inside, so we've made a piece of glass that will actually replace the door while it's running. We can't pull the door all the way off, otherwise none of these switches will actually work. But with the glass in place, we should be able to see exactly where it gets hot and where we want to cook our lasagna.
There's nothing like a bit of hands-on research, and it's so much more fun than just reading the manual.
I have always wanted to watch one of these things run with a pane of glass in it. This is like a fulfillment of a childhood dream for me.
It's a prospect so enticing that, just for a minute, they've almost forgotten the myth.
What I want to know is why there aren't more glass front. Oh, you know why? I do know why there aren't glass front machines, because they're noisy.
I would totally deal with the noise if I could watch this.
I'd pull a chair up, though. It's like a lava lamp, except you get clean dishes out of it. All right, the probe.
Adam expertly inserts the thermocouple through the hole in the side.
Perfect.
And the wash cycle they hope to make a cooking cycle begins.
All right, so now we're in the honest-to-goodness wash phase.
What temperature we've got?
It's hovering around 130. Right now it's about 125.
Well, that's getting up there.
Yeah, I'd really like to see it get up to 140 just for meat safety. Prolonged, time at that temperature would be good. Don't look at this for a long time, it'll hypnotize you. I look away every 5 or 6 seconds just to kind of clear my retina.
But even after 2 hours at the maximum setting, this kitchen's heat stands at just 136, meaning it's time to get cooking on a refined recipe.
Our dishwasher's temperature hovers between 130 and 140. How does that dictate what kind of lasagna we should make?
We're gonna go with classic lasagna ingredients. We're gonna cut things thinner than we might ordinarily. As for the vessel, we're gonna use something that is a little wider and longer than I would normally use, in aluminum, which is a really good conductor.
All right.
This isn't the most dangerous thing they've ever done, but it pays to take care when your skills aren't as sharp as your tools.
Don't try this at home. Ow! I'm kidding. I totally didn't cut myself.
Under expert guidance,
You can throw in a little bit of this Italian seasoning.
the lasagna comes together layer by layer
Say when on the sauce.
Yeah, went on the sauce.
as Alton browns off the meat.
Smells good.
And he's not fudging here. It's standard practice to saute the sausage before it hits the oven.
Oh, yeah.
When the boss calls a halt to construction,
You're not afraid of grease, are you?
No.
Oh, what the heck?
Adam learns the true meaning of a packed lunch.
Put that on there and squeeze the bejeebers out of it. No air in there. I think you got it.
All right.
I think it's dead. Good.
Okay.
I just need a lid. Foil, heavy-duty aluminum would be best.
And to make double sure that the lid doesn't leak, Jamie's rustled up something even Alton's never used in a kitchen. Aluminum tape.
Will it hold?
Oh, yeah. This will hold.
Seems like it's not going anywhere.
I think we're good. I think that's as sealed as it can get.
All right. Let's wash it.
Let's go.
The lasagna is locked and loaded into the pots and pans cycle. It's still anyone's guess whether that'll be hot enough to cook food, but at least the tray should be clean.
And starting.
You'll notice that we've turned the lasagna upside down, and that's because we don't want water to pool in a reservoir on top of it. We want the heat inside the dishwasher to be able to circulate as closely as possible all the way around the lasagna.
The clock is running. Water's coming in, and what we're thinking probably in 2.5 hours, we'll be eating.
Excellent.
Excellent. Or inedible. You'd normally bake this at 375 degrees for around 50 minutes, not 135 for over 2 hours. And I might just add that you can't preheat a dishwasher.
We don't just have to hope that this is going to work without any information about what's going on during the experiment. We have embedded a thermocouple right into the middle of our lasagna that's giving us a temperature reading.
True to the testing, the temperature finally settles in the mid-130s. It's just a matter of watch and wait, till hunger and boredom take their toll. So much for this being the new lava lamp.
I think it's time. How long has it been?
It is indeed time. 2 hours, 42 minutes. I think we're there. You know, it could go a little longer, but I'm hungry.
Let's eat.
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
There's always something satisfying about a meal you cook yourself, and something ultra satisfying about one you cook on a pots and pan cycle.
There it is.
Now, is this a culinary triumph or a tray full of tepid and tortured pasta?
Ladies and gentlemen, look at that.
It's not exactly crispy on top.
It was never going to be crispy, Jamie. Why do you... This is why we can't have nice things.
For a good time.
Yes.
It's a wet cooking method. We were never going to have.
I know. The test is in the taste.
Oh, the vegetables look done. It's perfectly serviceable.
That's absolutely serviceable. That's delicious. A meal cooked in the dishwasher. And a good meal.
It's quite good, actually. The cheese is melted. Everything's very tasty.
I don't know that I would remove an oven and install another dishwasher specifically for cooking.
But in a pinch.
In a pinch, you can do it. And on a bet, for sure.
On a bet. That's it. We've settled a bet here. You can cook a lasagna in your dishwasher.
So if you're happy to wait almost 3 hours for lunch, just one appliance can cook and clean up.
Here, here.
Okay, so the next one up for us is, does any unusual meat taste like chicken?
Oh, that is a classic, and I've always wanted to test it. It's when somebody tries to convince you to eat some weird meat like turtle or crocodile, and they tell you it tastes like chicken.
But is that because the meat actually tastes like chicken, or it's just a nice, easy, familiar way to describe it?
The white meat in chicken is mostly a fast twitch muscle fiber, and one theory holds that animals with similar muscles might well have a similar taste. To test this myth, we'll need 2 volunteers who aren't in the least bit chicken.
Okay, so given that I'm not gonna do any of the eating, how about I go to an exotic butcher, find the weirdest meats I can, and then I'll do a blind taste test where I'll feed you the weird meats as well as chicken, and you just have to tell me if it's chicken or not chicken.
I'm gonna start pretending like I'm a vegetarian from now on.
So the special menu is all down to Carrie. In a way, she's just returning a favor.
Now, the last time Tori and Grant had to organize a meal for me, they went to a very exotic place to buy food.
To Cold Feet.
And warm bugs.
And got all sorts of interesting choices. Chicken feet, scorpions, entrails. I have a feeling revenge is gonna taste like chicken. Where do you keep your exotic meats?
Right here in front of you.
Ooh. Oh yeah, this is the perfect spot. What's that with the head right there?
That is called squab.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna need one of those.
All right.
Some snake.
This is a diamondback.
That is real. That is really real. And I'll take the turtle, the alligator, the ostrich. I'll take all of that.
All righty.
Wrap it up.
At some time, all these meats have been said to taste like chicken.
Peacock, goat, turtle, snake, frog, bon appetit, suckers.
And we'll soon see if the boys can pick a bullfrog from a buffalo wing. David Lawrence is executive chef at a well-known restaurant here in San Francisco. And one of his signature dishes is fried chicken.
All right, chef, so it's important for this myth that we prepare everything in the same way. What's the plan here?
The plan here is we're going to do it very much how we do fried chicken here at 1300. We're very famous for that. So I've marinated it all the same way, just how we do with our fried chicken. And I've prepared a batter for it, and we're going to just bread it in the batter. And I'm going to start with the peacock. And as you can see, it looks like chicken. And I have some snake for you.
Whoa, weird.
As you can see, they've all been marinated the same batter. And now we're ready to fry them. Okay?
Start the magic.
Okay. Oh, the frizzle.
All up, they're cooking 9 different kinds of exotic meat and 11 servings of chicken. And after a foul fry-up, it's time for the dinner bell.
Let the fun begin.
Absolutely.
All right, nice place. This is what I'm talking about.
I hear the squirrel is awesome here.
Okay, so here's the experiment. We have 20 different meats. You will be blindfolded. I'm going to cut a bite and feed it to you, and you just have to say chicken or not chicken. But, so that you don't influence each other, they will not be from the same plate.
Wait, you're gonna feed us?
Yep.
And so begins surely one of the strangest meals ever served.
Let's do it.
A blindfold banquet of peacock and ostrich and diamondback rattler with a chicken chaser.
Open, Grant.
That's not chicken.
Not chicken. Although delicious.
Definitely chicken. Oh, that's delicious. Moist, flavorful. That was chicken.
I'm pretty sure that was not chicken.
Ori.
Oh, that ain't chicken.
That's definitely not chicken.
I don't know what that is, but it's not chicken.
Here comes the train. It's going into the tunnel.
That is one tough train.
Chicken or not chicken?
Maybe if it was like overcooked chicken, but I'm gonna say no on the chicken.
How about yours?
Not chicken.
At the end of the meal, there's no coffee and pie, just a scorecard.
Tori, you got 17 out of 20 correct. And Grant, you did a little better than guessing. You got 11 out of 20. What?
I can't believe you got 17 out of 20. Wow.
I can't believe you have no idea what you're putting in your mouth.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's way too soon to call for the check. Either result could push the case for chicken confusion in either direction. But Tori's hit on a point that might have skewed the last taste test. And he's found a solution.
Now, we tried 20 different samples, and I was able to pick 17 out of the 20. That ain't chicken. But I'll tell you what, the texture was a dead giveaway. I mean, as soon as I felt some kind of different texture, I knew it wasn't chicken, and then the taste was a little off from the chicken. What was that? That was definitely not chicken. So I think what we need to do is get rid of texture altogether. We need to like grind this meat up and just focus on the taste.
Sounds like a plan, but a meal of minced birds and reptiles just might come back to bite them. Now for a brief interlude on behalf of America's favorite fast snack.
Alton, I'd bet you're kind of a badass when it comes to cooking popcorn.
I'd like to think I've got skills.
So have you investigated the very fastest method for cooking popcorn?
I've tried about 40 different methods. I think I've got it pretty quick.
Okay, in this box purports to be the very fastest ever method for cooking popcorn. Check this out.
Reveal it.
You gotta be kidding me.
I heard of these things, but I didn't think they really existed.
But before they unleash the beast to see if it really is the world's fastest, they need a time to beat.
Do me a favor, measure me out half a cup of those guys.
This is what charted #1 on Alton's Top 40.
Jamie, will you pull out a piece of foil that'll be big enough to crimp over that whole bowl there? 3 tablespoons of oil. Dump that in. Wrap and crimp the bowl, please, if you would, sir. Are we ready?
We are.
Begin the sequence.
Timer's going.
Go full flame. Make a little shake action. This is about as fast a method as I've got.
Well, that was quick for the first pop.
What time? How much time?
1:06.
Come on, baby, pop. I like watching them kind of jump up and hit the underside of the foil.
And when it sounds like the popping is just about done, they've set a time that even beats the pants off most microwave brands. Now to see if this mysterious Oriental ordinance can top it. It's essentially a pressure vessel that really is meant to just pop popcorn. It's made in China, and after carefully translating the instructions, it's decided that discretion is the better part of deliciousness.
This is supposedly the fastest popcorn cooker in the West. Either that or it's a bomb.
The instructions, which we translated from the Mandarin, call for 2 to 3 whopping cups of popcorn. We're going with the maximum.
On Adam's say-so, I'll light the flame, and when this reaches 1 megapascal, which is 1 on the dial,
At which point the water inside the popcorn should have vaporized and the starch liquefied, but it will not pop until we relieve the pressure.
At that point, Jamie will turn off the flame, I will place this whole thing upright, pop that lever, which either will make us all dead or give us all some popcorn to enjoy. Cooking in a bomb suit, only on this show.
If we just find pieces, can I have your watch?
Absolutely. It's not the simplest way to make popcorn. Jamie lights the gas, and Adam rotates the pressure vessel like a cast iron pig on a spit. Hence, the bomb suit. Alton's method took 1 minute 45 seconds.
about 3.5 minutes in, and I haven't seen the pressure rise at all yet. We need the pressure for this to work.
But the pressure does slowly build, in more ways than one.
This actually makes me kind of nervous. It reminds me of water heaters about to explode.
I remember that.
We are at about 7 minutes when it's only supposed to run from 3 to 5. But the pressure's coming up consistently now.
I never thought that 4 or 5 minutes from cold made any sense. There's just too much mass there.
Yeah.
Finally, they get to the point where a sudden release should pop the corn. It's not something you do with a flick of a switch.
Are you ready?
You want the lever in there, or you just want to hit that?
I'm just gonna hit that.
Go for it.
3, 2, 1.
If there's ever been a time to say, don't try this at home, it's now.
Yay!
Notice that the way that it exploded creates a shape that's more like puffed rice than it actually is popcorn because of the speed of the kind of plasma form of the starch bursting out. I think that if we took the pressure down or just didn't do it as long, it'd probably be really good.
Now, you could still argue it's lightning quick, as the corn actually pops in a fraction of a second as soon as the pressure's released. But if you're aiming to fix a quick snack inside the commercial break, forget it.
Well, at 9 minutes, 31 seconds, I wouldn't call it speedy. That's a heck of a show.
Totally. That is the most fun I have ever had making popcorn.
And the most mess.
Absolutely.
So far, Grant and Tori have only managed to muddy the waters on the taste like chicken myth.
I'm pretty sure that was not chicken.
That's not chicken.
So they decided to go back to basics. No spices, no discernible texture. And this time, Carrie's the cook.
All right. Okay. We're going to grind up all the meats, make them into patties, prepare them all the same way, feed them the samples again, and come up with a conclusion for this myth.
It all sounds pretty straightforward. So, anyone for a minced rattlesnake?
Ah!
Apparently not Carrie.
Jammed it.
Oh.
So now we're focusing solely on taste alone. Am I gonna be able to taste the difference between chicken and not chicken?
What we're looking for this to be busted is that we score very high, that we can tell exactly what is and is not chicken. And if we can't tell, well, then it's confirmed, and it does taste like chicken.
But with no expert chef and no marinade, some of these exotic edibles might prove hard to swallow.
Tori?
You know, I find being blindfolded enhances the flavor of the meat.
Is it better when it's all breaded and fried?
Yeah, totally. The way he prepared it, you can really taste the difference in the meat. It masks the flavor. Right now, we're tasting just the meat, and it's pretty easy to distinguish between chicken and what's not.
Spit bucket.
Today, just 8 of the 20 dishes are actually chicken.
Ah, that's not chicken.
This ain't chicken.
Oh. That was definitely not chicken.
Peacock. I think that was peacock.
I want to cook that one a little longer.
So let's see how they've done. And if this very subjective myth is one we can bust or confirm.
I don't ever want to eat chicken again.
Okay, blindfolds off.
Wow, that was an experience.
Look at all the different colors.
It's my first barbecue with the spit buckets for sure. You ready for the results?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Tori, you got 18 out of 20, and Grant, you got 19 out of 20, which makes this myth busted.
Totally busted. I mean, with this test, without all that seasoning, it was so easy to tell the difference between chicken and what wasn't chicken.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, really clear. There are some things that immediately I was like, nope, not chicken.
You know the funniest part of it? I threw an extra one in there that I've never heard as tastes like chicken, and it's the one that both of you identified as chicken. Boar.
No way.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, this myth is busted.
Totally busted.
So much meat.
You did eat a lot of food this week.
Oh, I think I'm gonna have to loosen up my belt.
Yeah, pants feel a little tight. Look out, coming through.
There's probably not a kid in the country who hasn't at least thought about frying an egg on an engine. But this is a tad more ambitious. A whole Thanksgiving dinner. And they're already sensing the savory smell of success.
Starting to smell anything?
Yeah.
It's nice. Sightseeing, cooking.
Sage. Getting a little sage.
And a little
turkey
sweet
smell, yeah.
potato.
And definitely sweet potato.
Every time we pause, even for a second, we're enveloped in a cloud of sagey, yammy sweet potato goodness. I'm gonna start sticking sweet potatoes in my car just on a daily basis. It's so nice.
There was never a doubt that the food would heat up, but one of the keys to cooking is controlling the temperature. With an eye on the gauge and a nose to the wind, they decide to pull up, jack up, and test those sweet potatoes.
Here are some sweet potatoes.
Just pop them right there.
Excellent.
When it comes to cooking with your car, the catalytic converter is the rock star of the heat sources, and it's already cooked our sweet potatoes.
I proclaim these sweet potatoes to be done. Now we will simply keep them warm.
So we're just putting them on the top of the engine until everything else is caught up. There we go.
And they are catching up. Back on the road, every dish sends a different temperature profile back to the cockpit.
The confit is climbing faster.
It is now, yeah. Once we started up into the hills.
Yeah.
This is where Alton comes into his own. He calls for a pit stop, but not for the confit. It's the turkey breast he's worried about.
Let's get out and check everything.
All right.
What are you thinking? I just tasted the end of the probe.
Yeah?
Yeah, 174. We need to get it down, buddy.
All right, I will start dismantling it.
And here's where Adam gets to do his thing.
I feel like I'm defusing a bomb at the end of an action movie.
Cut the green wire with the yellow stripe, not the yellow wire with the green stripe.
And then I'll just guess and it'll be right. Right?
So that's 2 of the turkeys are out, and we're gonna leave them under the hood too warm. The confit is sitting at about 147 degrees. I'd sure like to see him hit 165 before we pull him. Maybe he'll have time, maybe not. All right.
Time now is of the essence, because just down the road is the place they've picked out to break bread.
Pop the hood.
It's like ringing the dinner bell.
Now, we could have just made this a roadside picnic, but that's no way to eat Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, nice.
The venue is Marin Headland Center for the Arts, and they're barely unpacked before Alton insists they try out the turkey. If the bird's only so-so or worse, it's agreed that the whole meal's a bust.
Go ahead. How is it? Considering it was cooked in an engine.
That's delicious.
It's tasty and it's tender.
It is.
I'm not ashamed of that at all.
That's pretty high praise from a critical cook. The turkey, of course, gets Thanksgiving top billing. Now, let's see how the co-stars have fared. There is one surprise casualty.
Adaptation is incredibly important in culinary experimentation. Case in point, we have a gravy. It's delicious, but it's way too thin. So you know what? It just became our opening soup course. Like I planned it.
It's a great save, and the birth of a brand new soup. Almost everything else is surprisingly good and well cooked, including that turkey confit.
I think Henry VIII would be proud, but I think those are going to be even better.
The very last things on the menu are those experimental pumpkin pies, and they're praying this dinner doesn't end in disappointment.
This is good.
It's good.
That's
It
good.
totally worked, thank you. See, he's giving thanks. The threshold for our expectations of this was quite low. We've all suffered through some pretty bad Thanksgiving meals, but I have to admit that everything on this plate is genuinely delicious. I've had many worse Thanksgiving meals.
I've paid for worse Thanksgiving meals.
So with bellies bulging, it's time these critics passed wind and passed judgment.
Final verdict, can you cook a full Thanksgiving meal on your engine block?
If you wanna, or if you gotta.
I totally agree. Jamie, drive this oven home.
It still smells like...
Oh.
Did you pop the clutch? Go, go, go!